Choosing the right tool for the job is a very important task, but when there are hundreds of tools, this becomes complicated. So I'm here to compare NordVPN versus ExpressVPN versus Surfshark in all important aspects. All can be considered as the best VPN, but which will win? Actually, the better question would be, which is better for your needs? So let's split this comparison into different categories. But before we do that, subscribe to Cybernews to help us reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Come on, let's do it. First, given that you'll likely use the VPN application frequently, if not on a daily basis, it's crucial to factor in ease of use. Let me inform you that all of these options are acceptable and functional across all major platforms. However, there are variations in their level of intuitiveness that we should discuss. If I was to compare NordVPN versus Surfshark, these two best VPN candidates don't look that different. The most straightforward method for VPN connection involves utilizing the Quick Connect button or selecting a location from the provided list. In my opinion, the NordVPN application stands out as the most user-friendly, featuring an interactive map to locate your desired server location easily. However, Surfshark has a different advantage. It doesn't limit simultaneous connections. I mean, there's actually no limit. With just one Surfshark subscription, you can set up one account for multiple people. With the other two best VPN choices, sharing is still possible, it's just much more limited. When contrasting NordVPN versus ExpressVPN, the latter presents a more straightforward appearance. However, this streamlined approach comes at the cost of a segmented interface. Server locations are placed in a separate tab, and the settings have their own dedicated tab as well. While this arrangement might be a bit bothersome initially, with prolonged usage, it becomes second nature to navigate. Next up, security and privacy. Let's look at what prevents your VPN from accessing and using your precious data. Firstly, all your activities will be subjected to encryption. However, the crucial factor here is the no logs policy, an essential commitment for each best VPN contender. While this might resemble a trust me bro scenario, fortunately, the privacy measures extend beyond mere words. Each of these VPNs employs RAM-based servers that refrain from retaining data each time the server restarts. All data within it vanishes. Yet my primary assurance lies in an independent third-party evaluation. In the context of comparing ExpressVPN versus Surfshark versus NordVPN, I'm pleased to affirm that all three top VPNs have successfully undergone no-log policy audits, with some even passing multiple evaluations. So, overall, what does all that mean when it comes to choosing the most secure VPN? Well, if we're showing no mercy, I have to take a point from Surfshark, as it's the only VPN in the best VPN comparison with a jurisdiction in a Nine Eyes Alliance country. Since Surfshark has a proper no-logs policy, I'm not really worried, but if this bothers you, simply pick between NordVPN or ExpressVPN. Oh, just a quick reminder. It's worth noting that VPNs frequently conceal their most attractive prices through the use of discount coupons. Therefore, if you're interested in reducing the cost of any of these best VPNs of 2023, I've included special links in the description that will reveal the best VPN deals currently accessible. Once we're done with security, we can look at specific features or aspects of each provider. So I rolled up my sleeves and tried out streaming and torrenting capabilities as well. In terms of content access, ExpressVPN emerged as the swiftest performer this time, demanding minimal troubleshooting on my part. While I did encounter some troubleshooting instances with Surfshark and NordVPN, primarily involving server switching, it was mostly smooth sailing. Streaming platforms tend to place servers on a blacklist if they detect unusual traffic patterns. However, this concern is somewhat mitigated by the extensive server networks of these two VPNs, rendering it less of a significant issue. Overall, the streaming performance remains seamless across all the best VPN selections. In terms of sheer quantity, Surfshark and ExpressVPN excel in accessing a broader range of content libraries. But remember, accessing some content outside of your country could be illegal or breaking the T's and C's of your streaming platform providers, so do check. Selecting a VPN for torrenting, though, ultimately boils down to personal preference. Surfshark and ExpressVPN allow unrestricted torrenting on all their servers, whereas NordVPN offers specialized P2P servers, which may feel slightly more restrictive. Of course, I also tested the overall performance of each VPN in 3 different locations, with the general baseline being 300 megabytes per second. Here in the UK, all 3 best VPN picks showed me similar results, around 90% of my original speed. There's no way you can feel such a difference. When connected to distant locations, data has to traverse longer distances, which naturally leads to a more noticeable decrease in speed in the context of comparing Surfshark VPN versus NordVPN versus ExpressVPN. It exhibited slightly lower performance than the others when tested in Japan. Nevertheless, these outcomes are more than sufficient to ensure a seamless browsing encounter. Now let's continue this NordVPN versus ExpressVPN versus Surfshark comparison. What additional value does each VPN have? For starters, all VPNs in this best VPN review have the basics covered. I encountered a variety of tunneling protocols at my disposal, along with dependable kill switches that activate to safeguard my IP address in case of connection issues. Moreover, the Windows applications for each of the best VPN choices for 2023 are equipped with split tunneling. This feature enables me to designate specific apps to utilize the VPN server while allowing others, such as Spotify and weather apps, to function without encryption. Upon delving further into supplementary functionalities, ExpressVPN offers a more limited array. The Threat Manager feature, for instance, aptly thwarts trackers and malicious websites, yet it falls short in tackling advertisements, a capability present in other best VPN alternatives boasting robust ad blockers. Furthermore, the shortcut feature allows me to prominently display my frequently visited websites on the main interface of the ExpressVPN app. Yet my favourite feature of the Best VPN 2023 candidate is a bit niche. Introducing their device groups tool, meticulously crafted for seamless VPN router configurations. Ordinarily, when employing a router VPN, you find yourself restricted to a single location for all devices, necessitating access to your router's control panel to effect changes. However, thanks to device groups, I can effortlessly allocate distinct locations to specific device groups, proving to be an absolute game changer. However, that's basically everything you can do with ExpressVPN. If you want more features, then the main battle is between NordVPN and Surfshark. NordVPN boasts several notable strengths in its arsenal. Firstly, it boasts the largest server count, although it's worth mentioning that Surfshark has a broader country coverage overall. Furthermore, NordVPN stands out as a privacy powerhouse. For those seeking the utmost anonymity, I'd recommend exploring their Onion over VPN specialty server. Nonetheless, my personal favourite among NordVPN's feature is its threat protection. Once just a simple ad blocker, it has evolved to be not only effective in that aspect, but also capable for detecting and eradicating malware during downloads, providing a layer of safeguarding akin to that of antivirus software. The most appealing aspect is that this additional protection comes at no extra cost. Of course, there are more features within NordVPN's arsenal, such as MeshNet for secure remote LAN connections and a dedicated preset feature tailored for Mac users. However, I'd like to refrain from dedicating the entirety of this video solely to NordVPN. If you want to know everything about this best VPN candidate in detail, subscribe to the channel and check out my NordVPN review and tutorial. So let's delve into the array of Surfshark VPN features. To start, if you haven't already noticed, the app is brimming with functionalities. Right from the main dashboard, you can access a range of specialized servers. For those wary of Google verification requests, there's the static IP option, while the multi-hop servers offer a fully customizable double VPN connection. Among the extra features Surfshark offers, the one that stands out the most to me is Clean Web. Within the primary app, it serves as a fairly basic function of ad blocking and requires a VPN connection to operate. However, the true magic happens with the Surfshark browser extension. It doesn't even necessitate a VPN server connection. It blocks various ads, cookie pop-ups, trackers, and potentially harmful websites. Furthermore, Surfshark incorporates an antivirus component equipped with real-time protection and a selection of scanning choices. To access this, you'll need to opt for the Surfshark One plan, making it a recommendation primarily for those seeking a bundled VPN and antivirus solution. While the VPN itself is undeniably potent, the antivirus element also performs commendably and stood toe-to-toe with leading antivirus solutions in my malware tests. Okay, we've talked about ease of use, security features, and even performance. But what about the cost? For those seeking the most budget-friendly alternative, Surfshark stands out as the optimal selection. Apart from their already economical pricing, as previously noted, they additionally permit unrestricted simultaneous device connections. This means you can share the expenses by splitting the account with a group of friends or family members. NordVPN stands kind of in the middle, but since it's absolutely packed with features, it makes sense that it costs a bit more. You'd think you could apply the same logic to ExpressVPN, but not really. They're the priciest in this NordVPN versus ExpressVPN versus Surfshark comparison. For a similar cost, you get a year of ExpressVPN and 2 years of NordVPN. That's a pretty big difference. Well, at least it is to me. After all this comparison, is there a sure way to say what is the best VPN in 2023? All three providers are great, but I would recommend them for different users. NordVPN presents an excellent option for beginners owing to its user-friendly interface. Additionally, its array of security features makes it a top recommendation for individuals seeking the uttermost online protection. ExpressVPN proves highly advantageous for those interested in setting up a VPN router configuration, while Surfshark offers a budget-friendly and remarkably versatile alternative, culminating in what is likely the most favorable price-to-value ratio. I trust this video provided you valuable insights, and should you have any inquiries, feel free to engage with me in the comment section. I'll make every effort to address your queries to the utmost of my capabilities. Thank you for tuning in, and I eagerly anticipate our next encounter.